Show me religion through your actions. Dear brothers and sisters, today is All Souls' Day. We will remember those who have passed away, those who were important to us, and we remember them. But for the past few days, we have been visiting cemeteries to prepare for this holiday. I am trying to gather myself during this time of reflection. No one is waiting for me. It's time for no more gatherings. This is no longer my place. Emptiness only remains around. In the raindrops, the leaves smell of the November breeze of the earth. The rooks still shout out loud. Among the bare branches, we are no longer. Time has shattered the silence, nurturing frozen aspirations, and only empty benches blown by the wind among the cold raindrops remain. The fog has settled in the bare branches, masking the silent tears on our cheeks. This day dawned with nostalgia, and I tried to free it from my heart and still the lost rays of the sun to warm our scattered souls. Graves are the wisest book. You won't learn from the living what you'll learn from the dead. Take a walk through the village. What will you learn? Oh, you could fit it all in a handful and talk to the graves. He lived, he died. Lord, rest his soul. And each grave a page of this book, and these pages open up to you of their own accord. You just need to know the language. See the language of a dog, a cat, horses, trees, the earth, a house. Do you think this table doesn't speak? I tell you, graves know the most. There is no longer anything there to hide, something to say, something to change, something to distort, something to push out, something to push aside. Only here does one have a double or even triple speech, one for oneself, another for others, and another for God. On the threshold of November, we pass through the cemetery gate. I wrote elsewhere, a gate dividing two worlds. Before it, something can still be fixed. We must remember this. When you learn about God's plan, things begin to become clearer. You can find meaning where you didn't see it before. You can face challenges knowing that God is at the helm, and you will meet Jesus Christ. I can reveal to you what God has prepared for you. Meanwhile, in Poland, voices are heard saying, no compromises, eliminate taxes, not lower them. This was said by Janusz Korwin-Mikke, who also responded to the quick shots and addressed his political plans. And now Krzysztof Kamil Baczyński prayed in the dark night of the occupation. You may read this poem. The land of love, the holy land of nations, is like a long oblivion, like a lake of darkness, congealed by frosty hurricanes, with black eyes, stands silent within itself as in a tomb of judgment. Thus driven from time, we who dare to call God by name and people by their deeds, we have known no other times, we have not seen them, and terror will transmit within us when life passes. We in the middle of the skating rings, knowing no home, under the snow, stones, and under the clay boulders, the same convicts we from the quarries, chased through the streets and counting the blows of heavy sticks, banished or because they banished us like livid bodies, from the soul like ghosts from the body. We lurk at night by the cold wall, sniffing death in our steps, the whip whistling in the tryst, locked in the Holy Land as if in a death prison. O Lord of the Apocalypse, Lord of the end of the world, find your voice and summon those nailed above the coffins. Put your voice in your mouth and put punishment in your hands. No one wants to be the black sheep, but let us not lose hope either. There are times when nothing succeeds, and we are left behind somewhere, and the world turns on its head. We are on the verge of the despair. That fate has prepared our doom, although this may mean that it is testing us. Maybe this very moment is meant to decide us and become such a turning point when we must take a risk. When our door closes, then another will open. So let's be ready for change, for other life challenges. Ami Brony, co-star of the series Kindred Spirits and one of the world's leading paranormal investigators, has learned much about ghosts through years of research and first-hand experience. Now, in Living with the Afterlife, she shares what she learned and how it has shaped her unique approach to interacting with the spirits of the dead and those who encounter them. This book is filled with astonishing and deeply moving stories about Ami's efforts to better understand the dead who have not yet passed. With Ami's witty humor and deep compassion for both those they hunt and those they haunt. Living with the Afterlife is an eye-opening look at what unites us as human beings in life and beyond. And everyone is united by the theme of God. Julian Tuwim wrote about this in his poem Lie in Wait for God. Who he is, I don't know, but I feel him everywhere. We wander among the stars, through the winds across the earth. Each of us eternally pursues an adversary, and we are constantly bound by secret thoughts. I don't know whether I will find in him a friend or an enemy, whether I will throw myself at his feet or humble him, whether I will be filled with fear when I meet him, whether he will be frightened when I open the door to him. We seek each other, and each of us worries, each of us fears an eternally terrible encounter. So we wander, wanderer, city, forest, village, on our path. The same questions everywhere. Did he pass here? Yes, he did, but his face was hidden. And was he here? Who? The secret one. Keep going, we don't know. Or maybe here he did under a cemetery marker. I'm running, I'm turning the table, an empty grave, a silent grave. And so I've been walking for years, searching aimlessly, and I know that he, the terrible one, is searching for me, terrified. That he too, with a premonition, has asked many about me and has searched all the corners of the world in vain. But today, like a wretched spy, I've secretly spied that he will pass here, so I've lain in wait. I'm waiting. Either I'll give him everything my whole life, or I'll curse him for wasting my life. I fall upon him suddenly. I'll tear the veil from his face. I'll see who he is, and he will see me. We'll stand face to face, eyes aflame. We'll throw ourselves at each other in happiness or despair. I'm waiting. He'll pass. I can already hear a quiet step. Walk with him? No. One of us will seize power today. Either I will follow him like a wretched slave, or like a powerful ruler, I will lead him myself. We live in difficult times, and most often we are either gone or not yet born. Chopin, on the other hand, was in its everywhere. his music reached a small village in the Italian Alps. In 1944, a village teacher and a group of his children and students listened to it on a gramophone. As the children listen to Chopin's Nocturne, the teacher tells them that this music was composed by the composer Chopin, whose name is pronounced Chopin. Later he says that Chopin was an unhappy man because he was ill. He also met a writer in his life and became obsessed with her. This is how village children learn about Chopin. The teacher has another record he listened to alone and with the children, Vivaldi's The Four Seasons. The difficult, harsh, and impoverished wartime lives on the inhabitants of a picturesque mountain village, including a teacher's family of 9, flow to the rhythm of the Four Seasons. Everything changes when a Sicilian deserter arrives in the village. The teacher's eldest daughter falls in love with him, and nothing will ever be the same again. This quiet, nostalgic film titled The Road to Vermiglio is filled not only with emotion but also with beautiful images of nature changing with the seasons. It was created by the Italian director Maura Del Pero. The film is worth watching not only because it features the music of Chopin and Vivaldi, and not just because it won the Grand Jury Prize in Venice and 6 statuettes, the Italian equivalent of the Oscar. This film is worth watching because it is simply a beautiful moving film. My dearest, I sell experience, and you are constantly dealing with money. However, Albert Einstein already said, a quiet and modest life will bring more happiness than the pursuit of success and the constant anxiety that comes with it. Here I'll mention that I've been wandering the human world for 4 decades. I've also been to Berlin, where history meets new vision. The glass dome of the Reichstag reflects Germany's journey from the past into a brighter future. Dear sisters, meanwhile, autumn has laid bare your tree tunnel. Learn again about character from the trees, values from the roots, and change from the leaves. Another story. Lev Tolstoy's name resonates throughout the world, but few know the moving story of how, at the age of 50, Tolstoy fell into a deep depression, and inexplicable sadness consumed his more and more each day. He was a count, immensely wealthy, celebrated far beyond Russia's borders, yet he was unhappy. Money was meaningless, just like power. I saw many rich and influential people consumed by despair. Even his health seemed wretched. The sick clung to life with passion, while the healthy faded away in the agony of suffering. One day, on Afanasievskaya Avenue, he saw an orphan. Overwhelmed with compassion, he took her home, and for the first time in a long time, he felt peace. He forgot himself, his torments, his sadness, everything vanished. From that moment on, Tolstoy renounced his noble robes, fast and privileges. He chose a bare life offered to others. He gave what he had to the poor. Don't talk to me about religion, charity, or love, he said. Instead, show me religion through your actions. Tolstoy spoke of brotherhood among nations, not violence. Until his last breath, he continued to help others, and for this many called him mad. In a world where we value only what we possess, possessions, titles, and sometimes even our very beings, where everyone wants to take but few knows how to give, Tolstoy seemed enlightened. One day an old friend, who remained faithful to comfort and wealth, challenged him, "Why are you doing all this? What's the point? think a little about yourself. And Tolstoy replied with that quiet wisdom that characterized him. If you feel pain, it means you are alive. But if you feel the pain of others, then you are truly human. The universe recognized by humanity is striking in its reaches. Look to modern space telescopes and so Hubble telescope observed a gleaming piece of cosmic jewelry located 15,000 light years away. Aptly named the Necklace Nebula, it was created by a pair of aging, closely orbiting sun-like stars. One of the aging stars expanded and engulfed its smaller companion, but the smaller star continued to orbit within the larger companion. This increased the spin rate of the bloated giant until large parts of it spread into space, and the escaping ring of debris formed the Necklace Nebula, whose exceptionally dense gas clusters formed bright diamonds around the ring. Beloved, the world will be destroyed not by those who do evil, but by those who watch idly. Just as the rays of the sun are so rich that we cannot perceive their multifaceted splendor until they are passed through a prism that caused them to fragment into the 7 rays of the spectrum, so the life of Christ, reflected by the saints, is so infinitely good that it takes an infinite variety of saints passed through the prism of love and penance to reflect the holiness of the Son of God. Sinners are always alike, saints are always different. God, give me a soul, take the rest, prayed. Give me a soul, take the rest, prayed St. John Bosco. Every soul in the world has its price, and since many cannot or will not pay it themselves, others must do it for them. There is probably no other way to explain the conversion of some souls than the fact that both in this world and in the next, their parents, relatives, or friends interceded with God and won for them the reward of eternal life. Julian Tuvin, I said, wrote about the needs of the soul. I carry within me the beast of the apocalypse. It reveals itself, and with a sudden hidden reflex, it reminds me of itself. It roars like a storm. It slaps me in the face with terrible truths, or with a luminous spirit. It imbues me and deceives me, beguiles me, and intoxicates me. Or it lashes out, and with sharp edge it pierces my most sensitive nerve and shakes my whole being. Or it comes to me when I am in the garden, feasting on the golden sunset with its distant gaze. And it is everywhere, in the gods of forgotten times, and in the misty hints of something that might be, and in the blind thicket of proud, ancient forest, and in the spectres that cast the starry sobs into the sea, and in those who die at sun and noon, and in those who curse, in those who bless, in those who deceive Christ, kissing hypocritically, and in those who wallow in the debauchery beneath crosses. It is everywhere. It torments, it delights, it casts a spectre of doubts. It sets behind secretly, it casts into the dust, it soothes, it calms and terrifies, it flashes in all holiness. I carry within me the beast of the apocalypse. My dear ones, go and do good. In your good deeds, Father Stanisław wishes you God's blessing.